All right, they're going to be able to hear us. So I'll be right back.
The following program is intended for mature audiences.
A democratic republic of sports. The Sportsocracy with ESPN Asheville hosts Tank Spencer and Jeremy Greene.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy. It's a Sunday morning. Things are working well.
I would be remiss if I didn't do what I'm about to do.
Technology's great, ain't it?
Jesus, tap dancing, fuck. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to tell all you lovely people the same thing I told him.
Yeah.
Why are we 10 minutes late? Because the app wouldn't work. Because the app was working. Huzzah.
Who knew?
Fuck me.
Welcome into
Good
another
Lord.
Sunday morning of tranquility here in the Sportsocracy as we get ready for Week 12 of the NFL season. Everybody enjoy that college football yesterday? Oh, man. I first off, I have to give props to Fox. Fox TV, they hung with that Michigan celebration.
Oh, yeah.
They milked it for everything it was worth, and God, it was worth it.
And
it was absolutely worth it.
And if you have Right now, Stream Deck is the only word that I can get out of my mouth because I've been screaming it for 2 hours. DC Streams, you could have watched the entire thing for 3 whole hours because they did that.
Nice.
And you know what Bob Stoops contributed? I'm here, and I'm not taking the Florida jump. That's all I got. Good Lord. Anthony Hurt just said Jeremy looked like he just crawled out from underneath a rock and created fire. I almost did. Right here.
You do
almost burn all this shit down.
You should get some kind of a brush or something for that mane.
Well, here's the thing. I have a brush. My wife can't stop fucking with it. So she likes to straighten it and do all kinds of things with it. And so when she does that, it gets very wispy. And there's this little curtain, like I'm unveiling, prizes on Let's Make a Deal.
That thing gets fluffier every time I see you.
Look, it does for me too. Okay, I don't know. All right. I could cut it off, but I'm not gonna. I look like Luke Combs and the Brawny Man's illegitimate child.
Kelvin Jr. says he's calling it next week. It'll be Georgia 1, Michigan 2, Cincinnati 3, Notre Dame 4 in the college football playoff rankings. You think so?
That much.
Oklahoma State jumps in there. They'll be 4.
Oklahoma State beats Baylor. They're in. And you know what that means? We'll have a mullet in the playoff, and I'm here for it. Mike Gundy. Greatest mullet in all of college football.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
But here's what's going to happen. Baylor's going to beat Oklahoma State, and then it's just going to be, you figure it the fuck out.
And then we'll just stick with Notre Dame. Notre Dame will get the 4th spot, and we'll move on.
Please, no. Please, God, no. For all that's good and holy, anybody but Notre Dame. Put in East Carolina before you put in Notre Dame, because I don't want to watch that again.
You don't want to watch Georgia, Notre Dame?
I don't want to watch Notre Dame, anybody. Notre Dame sucks. It's hot in here. I just realized.
Good God!
I just realized it's hot in here.
Come on, Volcom. Get your.
Hey, why don't you eat a dick? Okay?
All right, yeah, it was a fun Saturday in football. Rivalry week gave you everything that you wanted. That Carolina-NC State game was fun on Friday night.
Until it wasn't.
It
was fun until it wasn't.
The Iron Bowl, Alabama struggles again with a lesser opponent. Oh. They're out, right?
Who?
Alabama.
Oh, yeah, when they get the piss beat out of them next week by Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia watched that entire game like, oh, this is going to suck for you. You're not going to like how this goes at all.
Good. Oh, play the sound for me. I never get the sound.
Good. Let the hate flow through you.
I did enjoy Matt Mitchell's roundup of Week 12
he's funny.
In the SEC, where Ohio State comes in to start talking shit. He's like, you can't talk shit to them. Georgia has been through enough in the last 40 years. They're impervious to your smack talking. And then, are you still thinking about blowing it to Alabama in the SEC championship game? Every 30 seconds.
Yeah, that's all we can think about.
Every 30 seconds.
We actually have not thought of anything else.
Right, how is this going to be screwed up? But, of course, we'll get into all of that. Coming up later on in the week, this is the Fantasy Football Show, as we will get you ready for all of the action today in the NFL. And each and every game, we'll give you the big stars for the fantasy day. We've already made all of our picks. Jeremy, you're already up 2-0 or 2-0, I guess. In the
I am reigning undefeated. Your
through Thursday.
Your win's already over. Yeah, we're on a new shit. And you and Chief Zach both missed a game.
We did.
Me, on the other hand, I had a very profitable Thanksgiving. You're welcome.
Good for you. 2-0 in the Beat the Chief. Chief and I are both 1-1 so far. We still got 4 games to go over the stretch of today. So, anyhow, Armchair Commentary. He is in with us. Can he hear us?
Gentlemen?
Can we hear him?
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is.
I'm here.
Beautiful.
I have buttons.
Just a little less gnarly of a beard.
Yes.
Then his is very well kempt. Yours, again, looks like you woke up under a bridge.
Give it time.
We welcome everybody into the program. Please be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Share it out with your friends as well so they can join us here in the Sportsocracy. We are live in the Wicked Weed studio, as always, wickedweedbrewing.com. Wicked Weed Brewing. Drink different. All right, game by game here. Let's start it out. Tennessee and New England. The 1 o'clock kickoff.
This is seemingly the game everyone wants to talk about, and I can't for the life of me figure out why.
I can't either, because this, to me, looks like it's going to be a gross game of New England Patriot football. They are going to be running the ball a lot. They're going to be playing tough defense as always.
Have any running backs? I mean, we'll bring in the resident New England Patriot fan. Do you or do you not have one healthy running back left?
No. Maybe some of Brandon Bolden? Maybe.
That's about it.
What's wrong with Damian Harris? Is he not going to play?
Damian Harris is hurt. Ramondre Stevenson also hurt. Ramondre Stevenson had 9 turkey legs at Thanksgiving, and he is DMP large. I don't know what's wrong with any of them, but they all appeared on the injury report.
Mm-hmm.
I am looking at this going, this has that Bill Belichickian, hey, look, New England's going to come out and beat the piss out of you because now A.J. Brown's on IR.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see it that way.
Really?
I don't think that's how this is going to go.
You think Ryan Tannehill and Nick Westbrook-Akina are going to be able to put together a show today?
No, I think there's one great big problem that the New England Patriots have that has not been exposed against any of the teams that they've beaten. They can get after you with 4.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have anybody that one-on-one scares me, even not nary a little bit. Nelson Aguilar or Jacoby Myers. I can't tell you what's going to happen in this game. I can tell you I want nothing to do with it fantasy football-wise. Armchair, you agree?
Yeah, I'm not touching it. Traditionally speaking, I avoid Patriot games like the plague because Bill Belichick will decide that a fullback is the focal point for the game and you won't have any clue and you'll play a wide receiver and you won't get it. Or, even better, they'll completely change the wide receiver package or the running back package and you'll end up with 3 starters that had 4 snaps and the offensive lineman has got more receptions because that's what Belichick does. I think the game will probably be close. I think it probably swings on some stupid J.C. Jackson pick somewhere because no offense to Tannehill, I don't think he can get it done, but this is a no for me for fantasy.
I want to ask a question, and I want to see if either of you can get it right.
Okay.
How many games on the slate between today and tomorrow have a lower over-under than this game?
1.
You got to think it's several, right?
1.
Oh, wait. Was she a great big fat person?
It's 1. You care to take a stab at which one it is? You have the Jets playing the Texans.
That's the one?
That's not one of them.
That's not the one. Is it Atlanta, Jacksonville?
Dolphins.
Armchair got it.
What?
Miami Dolphins, Carolina Panthers.
Oh,
that is
okay.
the only one with a lower over-under. Now, let's play another fun game. What is the line of this game?
It's,
Don't look, because you haven't
Okay.
looked today, I don't think.
Patriots plus 6.5.
Yeah, it was 6.5 the other day.
Minus 6.5, sorry.
It's Patriots minus a full 7. That is Vegas just looking at you going, come to me. Do it. I don't see a snowball's chance in Atlanta that New England covers this number.
Really?
No, I don't, because I don't think they're good. Tennessee is a good team, but they lost to the Texans. Yeah, because they were looking ahead to this game. Because they thought they could just roll out of football and beat the shitty Houston Texans, who I'm going to talk about a lot momentarily.
They lost.
Someone on this exact show, Jeremy, called that game.
He did.
He did.
Armchair said, this is a trap game for Tennessee. And I laughed precipitously. He was right. Because it was.
Tennessee lost another game this year, though, when their lineup looked something similar to this, didn't they?
To the Jets.
Oh, it was to the Jets. That's
Yeah,
right.
they've played a lot of games now with their lineup looking like this.
without A.J. Brown, without Julio Jones. I think New England will cover this game.
I don't care. I do not care.
Mm-hmm.
This Belichickian mystique is comical to me.
Why?
Because it's just not true. It's been proven to not be true a litany of times. If you take away Tom, he's an average coach. Mm-hmm. Oh, but they never lose at home with Tom. This is the same team that got the piss beat out of them by the New Orleans Saints. And do you know why? Because they fell behind. This team does not play well from behind.
Mm-hmm.
So all Tennessee really needs to do is start fast. And they have had a lit firework in their ass about this game for 2 weeks. And now you're coming off a loss to the worst team in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
You don't think this team's going to come out on fire for Christ? Because I do.
No, I don't.
I do. And I think that defense is going to be multiple. Bet Now guy said this. Vrabel's 2-0 against Bill.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be 3-0 after today. This has been the weirdest season in NFL history because everything you think about New England right now says this is just a layup, no doubt. Oh, New England's good. It's not. It's not, and I'm telling you it's not. This game is going to be like 6 degrees. Do you remember what you saw yesterday in Michigan State and Penn State? It's going to be just like that, only not snowing, to the best of what I can tell.
Mm-hmm. And how does that play into Tennessee's hands?
Because I have Ryan Tannehill and you have Mac Jones. You have a quarterback that is sedentary. There are rocks that move faster than Mac Jones. Plus, he's not a cold weather kid. Mm-hmm. This will be the first time he's played in a game like this. I'm just telling you, if you never did it, I can't really explain it to you. But when it gets to be like 5 degrees and you're like, well, fuck me running. Then the wind's blowing and all of it. I'm just telling you. It matters more than you think.
All right. So in the what's that, Armchair?
Well, I was just gonna say if you gave me a healthy Ramondre Stevenson and a healthy Damian Harris against this version of the Titans team, I think the Patriots have a chance. I still think they have a chance. I don't think they cover though. I think that's Vegas begging you to put money on a game that you don't have a chance of winning.
Yep.
I feel like that's Vegas going, hey, A.J. Brown is worth 5.5 points because this started at 2. Oh, but A.J. Brown's not going to play. It does not matter that much.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't.
It's a field goal game.
That's where I'm at. It's field goal game. I won't be shocked if either team wins. But to put a full touchdown, just humor me for a minute. Here are the other games where the line is a full touchdown today. Would you like to hear it again? This is the only one.
Right.
There are several games. The Chargers and the Broncos is not even a full field goal. And you're telling me I'm supposed to lay a touchdown on a team that 2 weeks ago I said was the second best team in the NFL. Because they're going on the road against Bill, and Bill's the boogeyman, and he just is... Mac Jones. That's all I'm going to say. Mm-hmm. I bet you hear Jeffrey Simmons' name a whole damn bunch of times today. A whole damn bunch of times.
All right. We will see. I'm against you on that one. I think New England will win this game, and I think they can cover the 6.5. I'm not sure about the 7. When we locked it in on Wednesday, it was 6.5. Yeah, so I feel good about that.
Yeah, Bet Now guy said Bill does a good job of taking away your one. Who the fuck's the one for the Tennessee Titans right now? Deontay Foreman?
Nick Westbrook-Akina.
I don't care. Golden Tate.
Kari Blasson game, guys. He was reactivated off of IR.
Bingo. There it is. It's a Kari Blasson game.
Hell yeah.
That's hard to say.
Didn't he play basketball for Clemson?
There was a kid named Blasson Game that played at Clemson, but they are not the same person.
Jerron Blasson Game or something like that.
It was Jerron Blasson Game. Because I actually had to do a profile on him for the NBA draft.
Uh-huh.
I remember that going, if anybody drafts him, they should be cut out of the league immediately.
Right. All right, your New York Jets, Jeremy, go up against the Houston Texans.
Jets! Oh, God, why do I think we're going to lose this game?
Because you're going to lose this game.
I don't really think that. I don't think that in the least, actually.
Come on. Houston's at home. Tyrod Taylor's been playing okay. This team is much better with Tyrod. How about that?
They're much better with Tyrod than they were with quite possibly the worst quarterback I've ever seen in my life.
Right.
I'm just curious to see how close you can get. Where, I should say.
Where?
Does Tyrod Taylor rank in QBR? This is a trick question.
He doesn't qualify.
He doesn't qualify.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen very little of this. And look, I know the Jets defense is not good.
Yep.
I'm well aware of that.
Mm-hmm.
That Texans defense is disgustingly horrible.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, disgustingly horrible. And I have a funny feeling, call it just a little Jet intuition, because I'm typically very good at this, because I am not a homer at all. I want to lose this game. I cannot emphatically enough say that. I want to lose this game.
Mm-hmm.
We're not gonna. Who stops Elijah Moore? I'll wait. Who stops Elijah Moore? He's going to have 11 bajillion yards in this game. But Zach Wilson didn't. He did. He did very early. And now they figured out he's not a slot.
Mm-hmm.
That's what changed with Elijah Moore. Let me tell you this from the Jets fan perspective. I saw them start playing him on the outside, and I went, why in the fuck would... Oh, that's why. That's why. Because he is way faster than damn near anybody that lines up on him.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to hurt them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to level with you. I don't think this game's close.
You think the Jets went in a blowout?
Blow them out. I think they are going to blow them out. Here's a fun...
Elijah Moore today, though.
Oh, God, I do too.
Oh, absolutely.
Here's a fun question, and I want to see how close either of you two get. How many teams in the NFL have put up more yardage than the New York Jets in the last 4 weeks?
4.
Tank's in with 4.
I'm going to go with 2.
Armchair's in with 2. Here's the whole list. Would you like to hear it again?
What?
Not only have the Jets put up more yards than any team in the NFL, it's not fucking close. They're beating every team in the NFL by 40 yards a week.
Oh, dude, the defense now.
They give up a bajillion
I was
yards.
Say.
You get Tyrod Taylor and David Johnson. Here's the thing. The Texans can't do what hurts them.
Mm-hmm.
What hurts the Jets is that they cannot stop you running the ball. They can't. This team is terrible against the run. Okay, cool. If you'd had Phillip Lindsay, I would go, there's at least a conscious running back on this team. You're rolling out David Johnson, who is aging like a fucking labradoodle,
mm-hmm.
and Rex Burkhead.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good. I'm not scared of that in the least.
Shootout game? I see this being a shootout game.
I don't. Vegas does. Vegas likes the chances of this being a shoot 'em out.
Oh, I think it can be. Because here's the thing. I think Tyrod's still going to get his points.
I don't.
Tyrod's still going to be able to throw the ball. Y'all can't stop a nosebleed. So Brandon Cooks is going to get his. Nico
Brandon
Collins
Cooks is going to get Bryce Hall.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how many corners in the NFL are higher rated than Bryce Hall? I haven't looked this week. It was 6 last week.
Okay.
Yeah, he's the elite corner you don't know about. Name any other receiver on that team. Anyone.
Nico Collins.
Nico Collins. Okay. Now Nico has an advantage because he's 6 inches taller than anybody that's going to defend him. To me, this is one of those that this lays like an absolute jettiest jet game you'll ever see. This is a game I want to lose.
Yeah.
And so they are going to come out and absolutely bludgeon the Houston Texans. Armchair?
Not to mention, I was just going to say, so Elijah Moore is $5,600 on DraftKings, which is a hell of a steal this week. You can pay up to get a better running back. Zach Wilson's only $5,100 on DraftKings. If you're looking for a stack, that's the one I'm going with. And yeah, you're looking at, so you got a 6-inch advantage as a receiver, but Tyrod's losing at least 7 or 8 inches against that line. So is it really an advantage? He's got to see over those guys. They're grown men.
Yeah, that is one thing.
I don't see Tyrod having the game. I know everybody's thinking of a shootout. I think that this is going to be the same Elijah Moore stat line we saw last week, which is like 8 and 140 something and a touchdown.
I don't disagree with him. I don't disagree with him, and I don't disagree with him in the least.
Mm-hmm.
Here's one of the things that you don't realize about the Jets. the pass rush gets home a lot. They don't register a lot of sacks, but they get a lot of quarterback hits. You know what the big knock on Tyrod Taylor has been for as long as I can remember? He holds the ball too long.
Mm-hmm.
This sets up to me unbelievably blowouty.
All right,
Stephen Tao asked, is Ty Johnson worth a play if Aaron Jones is out?
I'd say yes.
I don't hate Ty Johnson,
but he's going
to get a lot of run today because they know what Tevin Coleman is. I don't mind Ty Johnson. I'm going to be honest with you. The only way I'm playing Aaron Jones today is on DraftKings. Michael Whiteside said, turn up Armchair. We can't. We would if we could, but we can't, so we shan't.
Is it jacked on that board?
Yeah. And I can go up a hair, but I don't think it's going to do much.
Okay.
We're working on that. We have a process to fix that problem. It's Thanksgiving's a bitch.
I'll go up a little bit on my side, but give me a heads up when you're going to hit one of them sound bites because I'll have to bring it down.
I turned up my output. Is that any better, guys?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That is markedly better.
That's a little better.
Just so you guys are aware, and this is why I'm here. It's not obviously nothing against Tank, but Zach Wilson at $5,100. You want to take a guess at who's in and around that dollar figure at QB?
Davis Mills.
Davis Mills at 4,900. Right above him, you got Big Ben going against Cincinnati. No thanks. Teddy Bridgewater at 5,300 and Tyrod at 5,300. You're going to pay $200 more for a QB with no wide receiver weapons.
Yay!
No thanks. That's a hard pass for me.
I'm going to be honest with you.
Sure.
The stack that's coming at the end of this show, I have a feeling that the quarterback wears a bandana. That's my stack. Is Zach Wilson and Elijah Moore, because there's no Corey Davis either.
That's true.
So you get no Corey Davis. You're going to have Jamison Crowder, who, by the way, I don't hate. I don't hate Jamison Crowder at all. If you want to double stack Zach Wilson, you want to get real cute, you want to play real fun games and try to win fun prizes, that's one of them.
Okay.
This is one of those weeks. Last week I said you're going to have to score 11 billion points. This week, I don't so much believe that. I believe you're going to have to hit the big ones. I could see the millionaire score this week being 210. You just don't have a lot of high-end. You don't have a lot of high-end scores. You got one shoot-'em-out game, according to Vegas. Really, Tampa Bay Indy?
That's the shoot-'em-out game?
Yeah, it's the highest over-under by 6 full points.
Okay.
And I don't really believe that, just so you know.
Really?
No, sir. No, sir, I don't.
No, sir, I don't. All right, so Elijah Moore, he's the big fantasy star of the Jets-Texans matchup. No doubt about that. Nobody else is really worth.
I don't mind Ty Johnson. I don't mind Jamison Crowder. I don't hate Nico Collins because I could see him scoring solely because the Jets are so short. Michael Carter's 5'8". Brandon Eccles is short. One of the corners is out, and I can't remember which one it is. But it'll lead to more Javelin Guidry, who's 5'9". And the Jets have a ton of short corners, and Bryce Hall will be on. At least I feel like he will be. Now, if Bryce Hall is on Nico Collins, which would, as I'm saying it, make a hell of a lot more sense, then you could have a rotation of guys on Brandon Cooks.
Mm-hmm. And then it becomes a Brandon Cooks day.
Not really, because I think then you're going to double him with Ashton Davis over the top. And Ashton Davis can run with him.
Mm-hmm.
Ashton Davis was a fucking track star. He almost made the Olympic team. I mean, the kid can't play dead in the Western, but he's fast as shit.
All right, the Philadelphia Eagles are at the New York Giants this afternoon.
This is a game where there is a guy in this game that I think you have to play. And if you don't play him, you did it wrong.
Miles Sanders.
What do you think his price is on DraftKings? I thought this was a misprint at first.
6,400.
Yeah, you were wrong at 6.
Really?
He's 5,100.
And
he's a no doubt. If you don't do it, you did it wrong. There's no Jordan Howard. So now it's back to the original rotation that it was against the god-awful New York Giants, who have one of the slowest linebacking cores in the league. Miles Sanders, you're going to tell me I'm crazy when I say this, RB1. Numero uno. I'll take him over McCaffrey. I'll take him over Dalvin Cook. I'll take him over Anybody you want to say? Jonathan Taylor. I will take him over all of them.
That's
he's
bold.
5,100 on DraftKings. I think he could have 40 today.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's the you have him or you lost guy.
Armchair, you agree?
Yeah, this game has a lot of chalky guys sitting in there. I think that you're going to see a bunch of people paying up for Jalen Hurts. I think you're going to see people paying up for Devonta Smith. But Miles Sanders is your like no doubt must play. He's just it's too inexpensive. When you're looking at this, you go $5,100, and Jeremy's talking about a 40 burger. But let's be honest, if he puts up 15 to 20 points, then he's way outpacing anyone else in that price range.
4X is 20. I don't see how he doesn't do that. I really don't. I think he would borderline have to go home at halftime.
Mm-hmm.
The Giants are not great against the run, and their linebacking core is slow as shit. So I could see dump off passes to Miles Sanders. My stat with Jalen Hurts it continues to ring true. If he throws over 25 passes, they lose. If he throws under, they win. So what does it tell you? You're going to see a ton of running back carries.
We know they're going to run the ball. They have found the
40
success.
plus
Yeah,
times.
they have found success with this running the ball all the time, and there's no reason that they should stop because they are on the path to a playoff spot.
I agree with you. And now here's the other level of this. All right, so with no Jordan Howard, the only guys on the roster are Boston Scott and Kenny Gainwell.
Mm-hmm.
What is the most carries Kenneth Gainwell's gotten in a game this year?
12.
13. Other than that, it's 9.
Mm-hmm.
Aside from that 13, by the way, he had 13 carries for 27 yards. Aside from that, he has 15 carries, since the second week of the season. He's not really a threat.
Mm-hmm.
Boston Scott's the other one that maybe, but he's such a hat on a hat. I think they're just going to pound Miles Sanders.
I agree.
I can see him getting 20 carries.
It'll be Miles Sanders, Jalen Hurts. Those will be the two to have. And they could very well split all the touchdowns.
I'm concerned. My concern with Hurts, though, Tank, and this is like, it's just a gut feel. I feel like the Giants are going to get up big, and I could see Hurts out of this game in the fourth quarter. This is going to be a running game. They're not going to. I don't know if you'd risk Hurts at this point. I mean, they could be up 20 at the half.
Easily.
Are you like Sanders? Sanders will get touches. They'll keep them in until the fourth quarter, but you're not going to see Jalen Hurts doing the kind of things that he's been doing in games where they've been winning late in this game. You're not going to see him try to break off and make a first down for the sake of making a first down. I know he's sliding, and I know he's an athlete, but I just see that maybe for the price at $7,300 on DraftKings, I don't know if I would touch him. Now, in regular fantasy, if you're just talking about a redraft or a dynasty, Hurts is a must play.
Mm-hmm.
Always play your studs. I think you have to. But if you're talking daily fantasy, if you're talking DFS, I think you got to avoid the guy right now. Just it's a little pricey, and I think if you're paying up for quarterback, maybe not the spot to do it.
Yeah, for future reference, when I say a guy's going to be usable fantasy-wise today, it's always going to be season long.
Yeah, you're not talking about DFS.
It's always going to be season long. I'm not the DFS guy. But yes, I would agree. Even in my novice DFS state, 7,300 is a little too much for Jalen Hurts.
I just think there are better. You have better alternatives.
Mm-hmm.
He's really expensive in a game that I don't think is going to stay all that close.
Well, hell, now I feel like we've gone through the last two games and we've built a hell of a roster already. With Zach Wilson at 5,100 at quarterback, Miles Sanders at 5,100 at running back. You got Elijah Moore, whatever the hell he costs.
He's 5,600.
It's not enough.
Mm-hmm.
That's not enough.
He's 5,600.
Oh, in 100% in on that one. For the Giants, Saquon Barkley will be back, but do we really care?
No.
I don't. I keep looking at this going, okay, that's great Saquon Barkley's back, but this line still sucks. The Philadelphia defense, I went through this week and I picked up Philadelphia in every fucking league I have. That is my defense special teams in season long for the rest of the year.
Yeah, because they don't play hardly anybody that's that good.
No, they got one game against Dallas. Other than that, they play shit teams. And they've been really good.
There's not much to talk about with the Giants, so I'll flexing into the next game.
Okay.
If you had to project the highest ownership play on DraftKings today, who would you say it is? I would wager. I would wager that Tank has no shot of getting this right.
I'd say it's Mike Evans.
Mike Evans is not in the top 10. Armchair, care to take a stab at it?
CMC.
CMC is LMNO 12.
It's got to be Jonathan Taylor.
12. Jonathan Taylor?
He got it right. It's Jonathan Taylor. He's projected 25% ownership against the best run defense in the league.
Dumb.
I don't get it. I do not understand why you would pay $9,100. Oh, but he was so good against the Bills. Yeah, that's not how you beat this team. And there is a player in this game that I want a lot, and his name is Michael Pittman Jr.
Okay.
I don't know who's going to stop him. You don't get to the quarterback regularly enough. Mm-hmm. You tell me who could actually slow him down. But he's the only receiver. I don't care. I do not care. I could see him having 10 for $120 and 2 touchdowns in this game. I have been calling for the Michael Pittman blow-up game for what seems like forever. Mm-hmm. It's today. Today is the day.
I would imagine they would put Sean Murphy Bunting on him.
Good luck.
One-on-one on the outside, and they would probably put Antoine Winfield over the top.
Please do that.
I'm just saying that I think that's the only way.
They're both little fellers.
Oh, I get it.
Michael Pittman's not a little fella.
I understand. I like Michael Pittman today.
I like Michael Pittman a lot, and the piece of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers I want today, it's simple as fuck to me.
It's Mike Evans.
I disagree with you.
Why?
I disagree with you.
Gronkowski.
There it is. That's the one I want.
Tennessee, not Tennessee. Indianapolis sucks
against tight ends. They suck against tight ends.
Yeah, I mean, they have given up double-digit games in each of the last 4 weeks, and that's been going up against guys like Jeff Swain and Dawson Knox, although Dawson Knox ain't that bad, but still.
If he doesn't score in this game, I will be shocked.
I'll be shocked if he doesn't score more than once.
I can never project that, but I don't need him to score but one time at 4,400 on DraftKings. 4,400 on DraftKings. 4,400 on DraftKings.
I'm writing that one down right now just to make sure I get it in that DraftKings lineup.
Yeah, you do that what you want to.
I think Mike Evans is going to have a big day today. I think Tom Brady's going to have a big day today.
By the way, Mike Evans is 18. Chris Godwin's 19. Tom Brady is 6 in ownership, expected ownership percentage.
Godwin would be the one that I would stay away from. I think Kenny Moore is going to do a fine job. They have done a fine job against slot receivers this year, but they've been beaten predominantly on the perimeter. I was trying to put too many P's in that. And Mike Evans is going to eat today because I can't see Xavier Rhodes shutting him down.
No, I don't love it. I don't love it. But Mike Evans is one of those that he tends to not have big games when Rob Gronkowski does. Gronk becomes the red zone threat. It tends to hurt Mike Evans. Mm-hmm. If you remember the first game of the year where Mike Evans was borderline irrelevant in a smash spot, that's what I can't get away from. I can't get away from it. I can't stop looking at it, and it's exactly how I think this is going to go.
All right, Armchair, what you think?
This team they're plucky, and I don't know how many Buccaneers I want. I had a different tight end play because we're saving so much money, a wide receiver, but Gronk at 4,400 is really hard to pass up. So that might be, I might slip that in. It really depends on ownership for me. I still think the Colts have a chance to win this game. From a fantasy perspective, whenever Tom is playing, Tom's got to be pissed off. Mm-hmm. I mean, they lost to the football team. He's not had a great kind of couple of weeks. I think it's time for him. He's probably looking at this and going, thinking of the ghost of Peyton Manning and trying to get a W here. But I don't know. As long as they keep the ball out of Wentz's hands, I think the Colts stick with them. It's going to be closer than I think Vegas is given. And Vegas, I think, is at 3. Is it -3 for this one, Jeremy?
Bet Us has it at 2.5.
Yep. It stayed right around that 2.5. Yeah, 3 is the consensus. Bet Us is at 2.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this is almost a pick 'em in my opinion. I look at the Colts and I see them. If Jonathan Taylor can get moving, you're in trouble. And that defense here, the Buccaneers defense is a highly penalized, undisciplined bunch right now. And if they don't fix it, they're in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
You saw what happened to the Cowboys late, bad pass interference calls, and I just don't know if they can hang with Pittman.
Yeah, Anthony Brown actually just got called for pass interference again this morning.
Oh, that dude didn't have a good Thanksgiving.
No, his Thanksgiving sucked. You know who did have a good Thanksgiving? Luke Combs.
Mm-hmm.
He had a hell of a Thanksgiving.
Were you getting all misty eyed seeing him play the halftime show?
Well, what was cool is that we're really good friends with the front of house guy for Luke Combs.
Mm-hmm.
So I was getting pictures of the load in and all the things, and then as I'm watching it on television, I got hey, there's Luke.
Yeah.
I went, God, your life is cool. Like my life is cool, your life is cool.
We love Todd.
He had a nice picture with just a muffin of a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader.
Mm-hmm.
She was just adorable.
Yeah, Stephen Tao had a great comment of how do you stop Tom Brady? Keep him off the field.
Bingo.
They've got the one weapon in the NFL that will be best used to keep him off the field. This is the same Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense that has allowed, what was it, last week? I think they had an 8.5-minute drive against them. And then the week before that, they had the 10.5-minute drive that salted the game away for the Washington football team. It could be trouble. It could very well be trouble, but I got Tom having Indianapolis Colts flashbacks. And he's got Gronk back. To me, that's the tiebreaker.
Let me ask you guys this: how has Tampa been against the run in the last? Well, okay, let's just say the 2 weeks before the bye, and then against the football team, because they made Antonio Gibson look like he was the second coming of Barry Sanders. We have to. I think there's this thing that people do when they're watching a team play, and they go, "Oh, they've got the best run defense in the league." They had it. Teams make adjustments.
Mm-hmm.
And right now I'm looking at this Tampa team going, they didn't adjust to any of the adjustments. And when you're looking at the football team running roughshod all over you, what is Jonathan Taylor going to do? And I'm not advocating for starting him unless it's in a standard league. In DFS, I'd probably stay away just because of the price, but he's the best active running back in the league right now.
Mm-hmm.
He could theoretically be the 1-1 next year in fantasy, and I don't know if we have enough.
I think he is the 1-1.
Yeah, CMC's injury prone, and I'm concerned about this injury on Derrick Henry, so that's why I lean Taylor plus his pass catching ability. But yeah, we get caught up in this. Oh, Tampa's got the best run defense. They had it weeks 1 through 8. And then things started going a little south, and they haven't made the adjustment. So I wonder where they come. Where do they sit? How does it go for them? And just don't forget, and Jeremy, you've said this, Tank, you've heard this many times, look at who they've played.
It is very important.
Who they've played.
It is very important.
Breaking news, Ramondre Stevenson is active for the Patriots.
Ramondre. I haven't even looked at the actives yet.
And nobody cares.
Ramondre,
you guys don't care.
You should.
Well, I don't know. You were saying Damian Harris is hurt, Ramondre Stevenson's hurt. You don't care.
It's important that he's there.
I would agree with that.
On the field.
I would agree with that. I still feel like New England has the upper hand in that game, but that's just me. No, Armchair, you make a great point. I mean, Tampa, it was a complete letdown against the Washington football team. However, I don't know. I think Jonathan Taylor is going to have a 100-yard day, and they better hope to God they can keep him out of the end zone. I don't think he'll have multiple touchdowns today, but it's very, very possible that he could. I still think they'll be able to keep up in the passing game, though, because Indianapolis just sucks against the pass.
I don't think the Giants have 4 pass catchers active for this game.
Well, I mean, they have.
There's no Sterling Shepard.
No.
There's no Kadarius Toney.
Mm-mm.
There's no Caden Smith. There's no Kyle Rudolph. So it's Evan Ingram and the ghost of Kenny Golladay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then. God, the Eagles are going to beat the fuck out of them.
Don't like that?
Oh, God, they're going to beat them to death.
All right. So we said Michael Pittman, Jonathan Taylor. I think Mike Evans, Rob Gronkowski, Tom Brady.
Gronk's a must to me, but I don't. Rob Johnson said Damian Harris is active too. Yeah, I mean, for me, playing them, I'm out. It makes me like New England better that both of those guys are up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still sticking by what I said, but yeah, I mean, to me, in this Colts-Bucks game, Gronkowski is the must. I can understand it if you can get to Mike Evans. I can't. There's too many receivers. I would rather play Deebo Samuel. I would rather play Jamar Chase.
Mm-hmm.
I would rather play. I'm sure there's somebody else up there. Maybe I tipped my hand as to who it is that I really want.
just a hair. The Atlanta Falcons go down to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars, 2 of the worst teams in the entire NFL.
There is one piece to have of this game, and one piece alone.
James Robinson.
I don't know how you know. I really don't know how you don't do it. Jacksonville has been markedly better than they've been on the road.
Mm-hmm.
And Atlanta is so bad. So bad.
They're absolutely terrible against the run. James Robinson will get his in this game.
I wish I could go back and not have picked Atlanta in this game.
Oh, I think Atlanta still wins.
I just think they're terrible. I think they are an abject disaster of a dumpster juice. Just, good Lord, they're bad.
You don't like Cordaro Patterson today?
I do not mind Cordaro Patterson today. But he's hurt. He's been hurt. And I don't know how effective he's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hate it. I'm not doing it in DFS, but if you have him, you're going to play him.
I think this is a disgusting game. That's probably going to end up with a 2-point spread. And it's going to be It's going to be the wrong way.
This is one of the highest over-unders of the day. Just so you know.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. It's 46. There is a 47.5, and then there's the Tampa Bay Indianapolis game.
Good
Everything
Lord.
else is below it. Well, Minnesota, San Francisco.
I was going to say that one.
And the Rams and Green Bay. And Cleveland and Baltimore.
Okay, so you were wrong on that.
So it's right there every one of those games I just said is within a half a point of this one.
Oh, okay.
And it's gone down that half a point in the last 6 hours.
Right.
So, okay, I wasn't that off. I just didn't.
Gotcha.
Look at it 6 hours ago, not right now.
I think the running backs, Cordaro Patterson, James Robinson, those are the only 2 pieces of this game that I would want.
I like James Robinson. Temper your expectations a little bit because Grady Jarrett is really good at stopping running backs up the middle.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they're just going to take it outside. James Robinson's really the only thing you have, and they can't stop you.
Right. Carolina Panthers at the Miami Dolphins. Is this Cam Newton's day? No. Come on. They're trying to pump him up like, oh, he plays really good against the Dolphins.
No.
He's played, what 4 games against them in his entire career?
Life. Yeah.
Stop. Stop it. Look, I'm actually all over the Dolphins defense on this one as well. In DFS, I'm playing the Dolphins defense here as my low-owned, inexpensive defense. I think they're like $2,900.
$28.
You don't usually have to save on defense, but I know that there's going to be a ton of people that are taking Atlanta or Jacksonville. Bunch of people are going to be taking Philadelphia, like yourself. I think Miami's defense has turned around and started playing like the team they were a year ago, which was a very good defensive team with no offensive output anywhere. I still don't trust anyone else on that team. Cam is a higher priced quarterback than Zach Wilson,
which is stupid.
Cam is, I think, I got to look it up again because I laughed. Actually, Cam is $5,600.
More than Tua Tagovailoa,
which is ridiculous.
That's a hard pass. That's going to be I'm going to give it a full Randy Jackson. That's a no for me, dog.
That's a no for me, dog. Yeah, I'm out. I'm out on anything Carolina.
Come on,
anything to do with Carolina.
All those rushing touchdowns. It's going to be great.
Yeah, I could see a path that this game is. You want to talk about ugly? This is the ugliest game of the day. The over-under on this game is 41. 40 freaking 1. In a game with no weather issues whatsoever. It's 75 and partly cloudy. It's still 41. What does that tell you?
That both these teams suck.
That tells you that Vegas is going,
I think DJ Moore can have a fine game today against that Miami secondary. He can get away.
I don't.
Really?
He's going to have Xavier Howard on him the entire day. Because they'll put Byron Jones on Robbie Anderson. I don't like either of those matchups in the least. Oh, and by the way, Cam Newton's still on throwing the ball. I really don't like it. I hate everything for Carolina. Play Christian McCaffrey. I'm not rushing out to do it on DraftKings or anything like that. This Dolphins defense has gotten a lit firework in its ass. I think Miami is going to bludgeon them in Miami.
The Dolphins were the pick by all of us in the Beat the Chief contest earlier this week, and I don't think anything has changed. Jalen Waddle, he's probably the receiver to have.
And I don't know that I even want to do that. I mean, all right, so what's his high side?
If you have, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
you got to pick one star for Miami.
Okay.
It's probably him.
All right, if somebody in a ski mask came in here with a gun and said, you have to play a Miami Dolphin or I'm gonna, okay.
Yeah.
Bang, 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 bang. Then, all right, then I'd play Jalen Waddle. He's still my wide receiver 34 this week.
Jesus.
So it's not like I'm, okay. He's going to get Dante Jackson, who can run with him. They might put Stephon Gilmore on him, but I don't think you will. I think they put Gilmore on Gesicki.
See, I think it's the really.
I do. Well, I mean, they've done it 2 of the last 3 weeks. They
Put
put
him
Gilmore
on
a
the
tight end. Now it was Kyle Pitts. So, but I mean, really think about it. Who's the number one option for the Miami Dolphins? It's Mike Gesicki. He's slow and lumbering, and that plays right into the hands of Stephon Gilmore. I hate everything about this game. This game hadn't even started, and I'm already ready for it to be over.
And you just want to skip right past it.
End. God, please don't. And I know I'm going to be at the social for at least a little bit, and just put. Okay, do we have to? Do we have to have that on the big screen?
That's how I felt about the Atlanta Jacksonville game. Why?
Yeah, I also don't want to watch that
Don't
one.
need that.
I'm looking forward to being back at my house putting up my Christmas tree for the 4 o'clock games. We can just blister right through 1 o'clock. I'm going to find me a TV that has Tampa Bay and Indianapolis on it, and the rest of it I just pick it.
Well, and your Jets.
I said what I said.
I mean, you have to keep an eye on it.
I said what I said.
You know you're gonna.
I said what I said.
Do
you know how many plays I watched of the Miami game? I had it on a television that was directly behind my head. I'll bet you I didn't live action watch 15 plays of the entire game. Because I don't care.
Right.
Lose. Just keep losing. Just lose, baby. Just lose.
The Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals in an NFC or AFC North matchup.
Hey, here's a game that's somewhat worth talking about.
I would agree with that. Who's your favorite piece?
Much.
Who's your favorite piece of this game?
The running backs.
Yep.
Najee Harris and Joe Mixon. I mean, depending on which way you think this game goes.
To me, it's Joe Mixon, head and shoulders.
I agree with you. I agree with you a lot.
He has been super hot lately.
And he's getting a billion D carries a game.
Pittsburgh has given up 5 touchdowns to running backs in the last 4 weeks. That's a lot.
Do you remember what Joe Mixon did to them the first time they played?
I do not. Why don't you remind me?
18 for 90 with a catch as well. Did not get in the end zone, though. One of his lesser games of the year. Would you like to hear what his last 5 DraftKings outputs were?
Yes.
26.3, 11.9. That one wasn't great. 25.1, 28, 27.3. He is $7,500 against a Pittsburgh defense that is not particularly that good.
Mm-hmm. And he's on a hell of a touchdown streak.
Yes, he is.
He has scored at least 1 touchdown in 7 consecutive games. That's kind of crazy.
Joe Mixon.
Joe Hayden's out as well for the Steelers, so I like some Bengals in this.
I mean, I'm right there with you.
So Joe Mixon, Jamar Chase.
That's the question: is which Bengal do you want? Do you stack Chase with Burrow? Do you go Mixon? That's what I'm going to do.
Mm-hmm. We know it's
Mixon
not Tyler
is a good
Boyd.
pay up.
I like Mixon a lot. I like, if you want to not play Zach Wilson, I do not mind rolling Joe Burrow either.
I mean, Joe Burrow at 6,300 that's a decent save, or 6,200, sorry, is a decent savings. I think if you're being honest about how this game is probably going to go, I'm leaning run more than pass. I know Jamar Chase is going to get his opportunity with Hayden out. I don't see this being one of those like 350-yard 3 or 4 TDs for Burrow and Chase with a couple on the board. I think that this is probably more of a mixing game, and let Burrow, get a feel, get back into it, get banged right. He's had a couple of games where he's looked a little shaky, made a couple of questionable quarterback decisions, almost got his knee ripped off. I think he needs to this needs to be one of those mixing games, if I'm thinking about it. I also don't mind Najee Harris here, but I think this is a Bengal victory if we're thinking about it.
I don't mind Najee Harris at all. I like Najee Harris a lot.
Agreed. Any other pieces of this game that we want?
Not really.
Not really.
Not really. No.
The Friarmouth? You haven't mentioned him yet.
I hate him.
No.
Eric Ebron's on IR, so that puts him on the field more, which that can't hurt. But I don't know that I'm going to get there.
I think Cincinnati controls this game start to finish.
I do too. I mean, I don't mind Deontay Johnson. I don't mind any of the pieces, but in terms of getting there for DFS, it's difficult for me to get there for anybody for Pittsburgh not named Najee Harris, and it's difficult for me to not play more than one Bengal. So I don't mind Burrow and Chase. It seems like every week I'm going, do I want to play Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, or do I want to play Joe Mixon? I think I've asked that question on the show like 5 of the last 6 weeks that the Bengals played.
You should play Joe Burrow and Joe Mixon.
Not today.
Not today.
Not with Zach Wilson at 5,100. I shan't.
This is true. I had forgotten about your cheapo bandana-clad, beautiful boyfriend.
I have a fire DFS lineup that I will be giving out at the end of the show. I just put it together, and it makes me feel warm and fuzzy.
All right, let's get into the 4 o'clock games. The Los Angeles Chargers at the Denver Broncos.
The Denver Broncos.
Chargers suck against the run. Denver Broncos have 2 really good running backs. I think that settles itself. At least fantasy speaking. I think the Chargers are going to win this game, but I still feel like there are plenty of points to be had from Melvin Gordon in a revenge game and Javonte Williams.
The only problem is that Melvin Gordon's output has been super inconsistent. He is the most touchdown-dependent running back in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it.
I don't either.
You don't like any of it?
I don't either.
No, Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy are probably going to get split. Eckler is way too expensive for what he's putting out there. Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, both a lot of dough on DraftKings. I mean, if you've got Cortland Sutton, or if you've got Mike Williams, you probably need to play them. Melvin Gordon's $5,300 on DraftKings. I like a lot of other guys more this week. If we're talking strictly fantasy, I like those guys more. There's more guys I like more, than anyone in this game. This game to me, divisional game, gross fest. I could see it being a lot more scoring than would expect from a high flying Chargers offense. I don't know. I would probably even lean on the under. What's the line on this one?
47.5.
6? 4. Yeah. I'm under.
I
think it's a gross divisional game. I don't like hardly anyone. It's in Denver, right? It's at Mile High.
It is at Mile High.
Is it going to be cold as hell?
Nope. The third warmest game of the day. Actually, second warmest game of today. In
both
Denver.
Of these games in 2020 were decided by 3 points or fewer. I don't know. Herbert looks a little confused right now. I think the Broncos are unsure of what their identity is. They're probably exactly where they are record-wise, which is about average. I don't like any of it fantasy-wise. I'm staying away from this one.
I get to do the Lee Corso. Not so fast, my friend. There is one piece of the Denver Broncos that I like a lot. And you tell me I'm crazy. Tell me I'm out of my mind. Javonte Williams. He's 5,200 on DraftKings. And I have this funny feeling. Look, we heard this all year long, that there is going to be a changing of the guard with the running backs by the end of the year. They are not going to try to run Javonte Williams in the ground. However, I could see him against this defense. I could see him hitting a big old biggin. Mm-hmm. I'm talking 65-yard, right up the middle. Nobody touches you. Bye. Because they're going to try to keep the ball away from the Chargers. That's the goal here. Mm-hmm. And I don't think they can stop them from doing it. There's too many weapons that you have to worry about. This team is not very good against tight ends. And by not very good, I mean I think there's one team in the league that's worse. So you're going to see a lot of Albert O, a lot of Fant, trying to keep them honest. They're going to get popped. I don't know which tight end it's going to be, but one of those tight ends is going to pop them for a big one. And when they do, I think then the running lanes open up, and then it just becomes a grinded out, gross, just buh. I took the Denver Broncos to win this game, and I ain't backing off of it.
I'm on the Chargers side of this one. I think they will win. I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be a blowout by any stretch. It's always going to be a close game, as Armchair said. These the two contests last year were, a field goal or less. Somebody mentioned in the comments here. It's Jonathan Welch said he's got Herbert and Eckler stacked, and I would do that more. I would do that more if Austin Eckler were used more in the passing game. He's not, though. I wouldn't do it because I think when this game's all said and done, you're going to look at the time of possession. There's going to be 37 minutes for Denver and 23 and a half or 22 and a half for LA. Right.
I could see this just being one of those games that you never see them with the ball.
Yeah. I said that at the beginning of the season, that this could be the year where Austin Eckler has 100 catches and they just target him, 7 to 10 times every game. And that hasn't come to fruition. Now, granted, he just had a pretty good one against the Steelers. So I get where you're going with that. It's not like I'm shying away from Austin Eckler, but I don't know if I would be spending up, especially if if you've got two relatively cheap options to go at with a running back like we've already talked about. With Javonte Williams and
I like Javonte Williams a lot.
Miles Sanders.
I'm avoiding Eckler today. I don't love Austin Eckler today.
Mm-hmm. I do like Justin Herbert though, and I think he's gonna I think Keenan Allen's gonna have a big day.
See, and I don't. I don't. I mean, I'm looking at the matchups.
Everything I've read said that they're going to put Kyle Fuller on him.
Well, let's just look, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
Where is Madame Chi-Chi?
Where's your matchup list?
There it is. Matchup chart.
If they do, if they put Kyle Fuller on him, I like Keelan Allen to eat today. He could have a 10-catch game.
See, and I just don't. I do not see that. I don't want the damn. That is not what I want.
What do you think, Armchair, while Jeremy's trying to find his matchups?
Well, so Herbert, I think Herbert's safe. He's got a pretty low or pretty decent floor. You're looking on DraftKings. 13 points is probably the floor. So you're not going to get killed. But I think there are better options out there, including someone else that's playing at 4:00, probably in one of the next games that we're going to be talking about. Keenan Allen has had a great year, and in real football, he's real good. In fantasy, he's helped me out in my own leagues, but I just have a feeling this is going to be one of those really, really gross games. Divisional games are always so tough to figure out anyway. If you look at just over the course of history, how many times the Jets and Patriots played, or Patriots and Dolphins, for my experience, Tom could never win in Miami. He had, virtually unstoppable teams, and he'd go down to Miami and they'd look completely beatable. So when I look at this Broncos team, I see a bunch of guys that can run it down your throat. The Chargers aren't particularly good at stopping the run. So why can't Williams have a big game? Why can't they keep the time of possession? And Herbert's not going to get the opportunity. They're quick strike. If you want to get in a shootout with the Chargers, you might lose. If you want to play, let's not play defense, we'll just throw it as far as we can. Yeah, I'm Justin Herbert all day, but this is going to be smash mouth, run it down your throat, 3 inches in a cloud of dust football, I think. And that has me thinking it's probably a Broncos victory.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a fun stat with Justin Herbert. His PFF passing grade when he throws the ball 20 yards downfield is 96.5. That's third among all qualified quarterbacks. There's 44 qualified quarterbacks. His quarterback rating is 135.4. That's number 1. Yards per attempt is 17. That's number 6. And his adjusted completion rate is 56.7. That's number 5. He's borderline unstoppable when he throws the ball down the field. Here's the problem. He's done that 2 times in 3 weeks. And do you know why? Because everybody has figured that the fuck out. You want to sit here and dink and duck? You dink and duck all you want to there, pudding pants. And you were talking about Kyle Fuller. I don't know why you see that as such a plus matchup, because it's not. I mean, among slot corners that are playing today, Kyle Fuller is 4th in yards per route run allowed. Bryce Callahan's hurt. I keep forgetting that for some fucking reason. But I don't really care.
Okay.
And I'm not looking. I mean, Keenan Allen, he could have 10 catches for 60 yards. Whoopie-doo. It just is what it is. I think he's a high volume, low ceiling play.
Mm-hmm.
I don't love Keenan Allen today. I don't love anything for the Chargers today. I think the Broncos are just going to grind them out.
I just want to point out the chat hates that we hate Eckler. And I need
Nobody
to point
hates
out that
Eckler.
Nobody. We're talking about for DFS purposes. I'm not playing him against
$8,400.
Yeah.
He's $8,400 on DFS, which is why I don't like him today. You want to put Eckler and Herbert together, you're spending all of your money.
Yeah, and here's the other thing.
2 guys.
First of all, here's the other thing. You tell me I'm West Coast or East Coast bias again, I'm gonna laugh in your face. How many games above 20 points does Austin Eckler have in the last month and a half? It's 2, and one of them he had 41.5. I get he's the number 2 running back in fantasy football. I'm well aware of that. I also know he is the Tyler Lockett of running backs, because there's a lot of 14, 11, 9. Oh, he beat the hell out of New England in a game they lost. Oh, he beat the hell out of Pittsburgh, a game they could have lost. I mean, this game sets up fine for him. I'm just not shoehorning him into a lineup. I like West Coast football 9 times out of 10, but I don't do the East Coast shit. I've already said that. I'm looking forward to the 4 o'clock slate better than anything else.
Rob Johnson says, should he play Javonte Williams over Antonio Gibson this week? I'm a no.
I'm a hard yes. I'm an aggressive, no doubt. Yes.
Really? Antonio Gibson against Seattle?
Don't care. Been hurt all year. He's been inconsistent as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Every time you think he's going to pop off, he's bad. Every time you think he's going to be terrible, he's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll pass.
Armchair, what do you think?
Man, okay, so like Seattle hasn't been great, but I feel like that's another game that's going to be a gross game. I don't really love the prospect of Gibson there, and after talking myself into it, I think I'm Williams all day here.
Yeah, to me, it's not even really all that close to me, to be honest with you.
All right. Seattle has been horrible against running backs. And in the last 2 weeks, they've allowed 20-plus point performances in PPR to running backs.
To who?
A.J. Dillon and James Conner.
A.J. Dillon, who was playing without Aaron Jones, and James Conner, who was the only running back on the team. Antonio Gibson's not the only running back on the team. This is a completely
He's the only one that gets any run?
That's not even kind of fucking true. J.D. McKissick gets his snap count is damn near the same as Antonio Gibson's. That's been the problem the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
That's always been the problem with Antonio Gibson. I'll be honest with you, Jared Patterson's getting more snaps than you want him to. It's not a ton, but
what's
it's
his
enough.
snap count up to?
Ooh, let's look. Dude, anybody talk but me because I can't talk, type and talk at the same time.
That's fine. I don't love it. I think he's got a chance. My concern is when I look at the game, that the game script tells me that it's going to be he's going to get his opportunities. There's just going to be a lot of clock run out. I don't think there's going to be a lot of quick strike. Might go for 80 yards, probably grab a touchdown. But if you're looking at your other opportunity, I think that Charger game probably gives you better opportunity for a higher ceiling. If you're in need of, like, if you're worried about the floor, play Gibson. If you're worried about the floor, that's what you like. If you're like, I just need to make sure I get some consistent points on Monday night to close out my win, play Gibson.
Yeah, I mean, you were asking about the touches. Last game he played, 19-8-7. So the other two are dead splitting them. All right, you take that 26 touch game he had against Tampa Bay out. He's been out-touched by J.D. McKissick twice. And Jared Patterson's good for, I mean, hell, week 8, they all three had 11 touches. It's just, to me, it's too inconsistent. There's too many range of outcomes because I'll be honest with you, I think this game's a blowout. I think that Washington is going to beat the shit out of them. So why would you run Antonio Gibson on the ground?
Right.
What's the purpose? What is the point? You can run Jared Patterson and do the exact same shit.
Okay.
The Seattle Seahawks are going to get killed.
Is this a pick'em?
I don't know. Yeah, it is a pick'em.
It's stupid.
It is a pick'em.
I forgot that I'm not Skip Bayless. I don't know what the fuck that means. I don't in any way know what that means.
Who said that?
Jonathan Welch. I apparently forgot I'm not Skip Bayless. I wouldn't watch if it wasn't for Jenny Taft. I would set my television on fire if it wound up tuned to that.
Skip.
Yeah, somebody said that. Rob Johnson said that.
Skip.
You're over 46.5 on this, Jeremy.
Washington, Seattle.
Yeah. I know it's the Monday nighter. I'm skipping ahead, but
no, I'd probably under. I think this game's gonna be disgusting, and I think Seattle's just going to get their shit pushed in.
25-3.
You ever feed a dog a pill? You just had to pry their mouth open and just jam it in there like, just eat it! That's going to be Seattle against Washington. Or that's going to be Washington
against Seattle. I would agree. And kind of why I'm on Antonio Gibson, but I can understand the argument for Javonte Williams.
If the game blows out, you're going to see way more Jared Patterson touches than you want to.
Agreed. I will agree with you there. Minnesota, San Francisco.
This is a game that I want all the things in.
You should.
I want everything out of this game.
Yes.
And I know there is a possibility that I'm very wrong.
How close does it come to being that 34-31 shootout-y kind of a game like we had last week with Minnesota and Green Bay? Like Minnesota put up against Arizona earlier in the season. Because, frankly, that's how I see this game going.
Here's what scares me. Vegas doesn't agree with us. It always makes me nervous when
they think it's going to be gross and low scoring.
No, it's one of the higher over-unders on the day. But it hasn't moved nearly as much as I think it should have. Because when this came out, it was 48. I went, that seems really low to me because Minnesota can't get after the quarterback now. Minnesota's offense is good, and I get Deebo Samuel on one side. So, by the way, Deebo Samuel must play. DFS, PPR, standard, suicide league, whatever kind of league you play in, Deebo Samuel is a play today. Rashad Breeland. How many corners in the NFL give up more points per reception than Rashad Breeland?
None.
4.
Okay. It's going to be this. I was fully expecting. You want to hear the list again?
Nope. I can only do that so many times per show.
Can you, though? And I like Brandon Ayuk in this game, too.
Ayuk is the second most projected to be the second highest owned player on the slate.
Eli Mitchell plays. Nah. I mean, he wouldn't be like a DFS play, but if you've got him in your season long, you should probably squeeze him into your lineup.
If you got him in season long, you're fine. He's not a DFS play at all to me. I don't know. I can't get away from Deebo Samuel. That is the one that I want.
Mm-hmm. I like them both because Minnesota's like one of the worst teams in the league at giving up yards after the catch. And that's kind of what they do. That's kind of what Deebo and Brandon do. Let's go, Brandon.
And for me, it's hard because I know Ayuk is going to catch a shitload of Patrick Peterson. I want Deebo. That's all I want. That's all I want. I don't want any of the Minnesota receivers. I don't want any of that shit. They're going to put Rashad Breeland on Deebo Samuel because he plays because he'll play a lot in the slot.
Mm-hmm.
The shadow matchup is going to be Patrick Peterson. And I don't like that. I think Ayuk is the landmine today. Because a lot of people are going to do it.
Deebo Samuel or Justin Jefferson? If you're making a call.
Deebo, not close. Deebo by a ton.
Who's Jefferson get?
Josh Norman.
That doesn't scare me.
It shouldn't, but cover 3 should.
Mm-hmm.
Because what does Justin Jefferson do really, really well? Beat teams over the top. What do the 49ers never allow you to do? Beat them over the top.
Mm-hmm. All right, so there's your answer. Deebo over Justin Jefferson.
Michael Whiteside said, can I just keep asking Ramonde or Crowder in the flex? Here's the thing. I can't see the chat except on one of the 4011 screens that I'm bouncing between right now. So you got to talk to him on that one. That's his role.
I haven't seen it. I apologize. So answer the question. Ramondre or Crowder?
Oh, God.
I'd go Crowder.
I would too. It's close. It's close.
What do you think, Patriot fan?
Stevenson
over Crowder.
I don't hate Crowder in that spot, but I think Stevenson's going to get the heavy play. I think this is going to be a run heavy offense by the Patriots. Is what they've done the last 6 weeks. Is just pound the ball in. So he's going to get touches. He's likely going to break something. He'll probably get a goal line touch,
right?
Opportunity for a touchdown. So I think it's Stevenson there.
What would you think the split looks like between him and Damian Harris? Because they're both going to play, as far as we know.
60-40?
Yeah, same.
60-40 for who?
Damian Harris.
Yeah.
I'd say it's 60-40 Damian Harris. The one thing I will say is you have to be really careful with Jamison Crowder. He's a flyer DFS play for me. I can't remember the kid's name, mainly because the Texans are not playing anybody that's over 17 years old. And anytime you get comfortable with somebody, they either get cut or traded.
Ryan Estrada says Armchair just looks like the typical Patriots fan, and I'm gonna be honest with you, you do. But you know what you're missing? You're missing the pencil behind the ear. I want to see that Matt Patricia pencil behind the ear thing. Here he goes.
I'm sure he's got one of those.
He's going to hook it up for us.
Let me see if I can. There we go.
There it is. The old Matt Patricia.
Yeah. Oh, God. It's striking.
It's actually weird how much.
Yeah.
He looks like Matt Patricia if Matt Patricia had done Jenny Craig. If Matt Patricia had gotten on some weird weight loss diet.
The big difference is I still I'm not sold on the Patriots being as this like juggernaut team that everybody else is saying. I'm not there. I'm wearing Patriots gear. Look, it's Sunday. It's football team Sunday. I'm gonna rock my team. I'm also wearing my armchair gear. So like, let's not sit here and say that I am like I'm not homering out here. I also just like Stevenson because I don't know where Crowder's share is going to be. I think Elijah Moore is the guy there.
The thing that scares me with Crowder is that he draws Thomas, who's actually been real good. He hadn't played a ton, but he's been real good when he has played. So you know what? I've changed my opinion to Ramondre Stevenson.
Ramondre Stevenson.
Yeah. Ryan Estrada said he changed his name to Bengals Nation 9. I do appreciate when people tell us that because we can't keep. It's hard to keep track sometimes. M85 said Kendrick Bourne. I'm not today. I just think that game is so gross. I just think it's so gross.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Jones, 90% chance he plays. Okay, can I just address the Aaron Jones thing? I know we haven't got to that game yet. I don't care. I don't care if he plays or not. In season long, yes, you have to play him. You have to play your studs.
Mm-hmm.
I am not. I bet I've been asked 25 questions about DFS Aaron Jones if he plays. Okay. I mean, 6,000. I would rather play Miles Sanders. I would rather play a slew of other running backs.
Mm-hmm.
So,
over the last, I'm trying to remember how many weeks it was. I heard this morning in passing, and I forgot to write it down or make a note. But it was like over the past 4 weeks, something like that, Jimmy Garoppolo has been quarterback 3 in fantasy football. What's he look like for DFS today?
I don't mind him. The price has crept up a little bit. So Garoppolo's out of that. I mean, he's 5,700, so he's in that Carson Wentz tier. I don't hate it. I like Zach Wilson better against that dog water Houston Texans defense.
Good.
I can't hit the button.
Yeah,
I'm not allowed to.
Don't play Patriot wide receivers.
Why do you have
ever? Don't ever play Patriot receivers.
I can't believe this needs to be said ever again. But McCorkle Jones throws for 190 yards a game. And he will complete some touchdowns. He's going to be very accurate. I don't know if you've heard this before, guys. Mac Jones is very accurate and efficient. It's brand new news. But don't play Patriot wide receivers. Not in DFS. If you're like stuck in fantasy and you need someone, you can take Jacoby Myers because he's kind of his safety valve. But I wouldn't touch a Patriot wide receiver ever. And you can get this shirt in any color. I see people saying they happen to be Patriot colors. Come on now.
I'm also
a hockey fan.
Yeah, he just chose. Here's another little secret time. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. Our logo is in Denver Nuggets colors. You'll never unsee that now. It was Florida Gator colors, and I went, oh, fuck that. Fuck that. That has to change.
It doesn't hurt that one of our sponsors pointed it out to it as well.
Who was a Florida State cheerleader. And I went, good point. We'll get right on that. Took 4 days, and there was no more orange. Stephen Tao said, we can't ask yearly fantasy questions anymore. No, you 100% can. I just, again, can't see the chat unless I go to a certain screen. I'm trying to do it more now, but that's how you wind up with, his face on and me talking. There's a lot of buttons over here, okay? And we got one thing that's not quite working the way it's supposed to. But it's enough to switch us. So that's good enough. Now, you can ask any question you want. You just may have to ask it once or twice. Justin Barton said A.J. Dillon or Waddle in the flex. Do I have to? I think there's a high likelihood that Jones plays, and if he does, I'm out on A.J. Dillon. But here's the other thing you got to remember. This is the week before the bye week. So even if Aaron Jones plays, I don't think he's going to get a full complement. I'm probably going to say A.J. Dillon on that now that I think about it. I don't like Jalen Waddle today at all.
Why?
Because I don't like anything in that game.
Yeah.
I don't like how that looks for anybody.
I mean, he'll be covered by Dante Jackson.
Yeah, who can run with him?
Yeah, but he can get burned bad.
Yeah, but usually how he gets burned is on double moves, something that Jalen Waddle doesn't do a lot.
Okay.
A lot of how Jalen Waddle gets open is he finds a soft spot on a good play call and just gets behind guys. I'm not overly worried that's going to happen today.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think there's a lot of points. Is Cordaro Patterson playing today? Yes.
Matthew Hoffman said Philip Lindsay. You see the field today?
If he does, it's going to be very, very little. He's going to be a dead tail that this is it's a run play. Because there's no way he's picked up that playbook in 3 days.
Right.
So, I mean, could he get 6 to 10 snaps? Sure. I'm holding him because I think he will be the running back down the line. I think they're looking at Philip Lindsay with the intention of it's going to be a him Gaskin split moving forward. Rob Johnson asked, do you play Kareem Hunt if he's active? I'm going to say no.
I'm out on that one.
I'm going to say no.
I would be out on that one. I would expect them to slowly get him acclimated back in, but that's just me. Plus, they're playing Baltimore, and I can't put my finger on anything against Baltimore.
I don't think that game's going. I think Cleveland's going to get just dogged.
Mm-hmm.
That all falls into game script. Every bit of it falls into game script.
All right, L.A. Rams and the Green Bay Packers. That's our last 4 o'clock game of the day. It was a pick 'em the other day. It's now a 2-point lean to the Rams.
And I think it should be. Rams coming off a bye.
Don't care about them being on the road.
I don't care. I really don't. I mean, I'm looking at the weather for this game. Yeah, it's going to be cold. It's going to be a little windy.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, Matthew Stafford is – I mean, how many times did he play in Green Bay? A lot.
The thing that really concerns me for the Green Bay Packers is the injuries that they have on the offensive line, what that's going to look
Aaron
like.
Donald and Von Miller against
right.
I mean, you got 2 backups, no doubt playing, and your swing guy is gone.
Mm-hmm.
For me, that's just I'm leaning Rams on this, but I would understand if you took the Packers in Lambeau. I know it's one of the great home field advantages.
Yep.
I see. For me, I think this is the Mason Crosby week. This is the week where you just go, okay, we've done this as much as we can, because I think he's going to boo-boo kitty one, and that's what cost them this game.
Mm-hmm. Patrick Holt's asking, Laviska Shenault or Kenny Golladay? Can you drop Kenny Golladay and pick up somebody else?
God, I haven't heard a Laviska Shenault question in what feels like weeks. I would probably go Golladay.
Really?
Laviska has not been. Let me check this before I run my.
I'm the opposite of that, actually. I think it's a Shenault game.
Do you know how many games this year Laviska Shenault has had double-digit points?
2.
None.
It's 3. And one of them he had 11, and one of them he had 12.
I still think it's an opportunity. I think that this is going to be that game has Trevor Lawrence opportunity all over it. Does it not?
It does.
They're like, it's sneaky money for me. If I'm looking at that game, I go, and given the fact that the Giants they're not any good. Galladay's the only receiver, so they're like, yeah, I guess if they have to throw the ball, it's going to go there. But what we're likely going to see from the Giants is Daniel Jones running the ball 3,000 times and attempting to hit Stonehand Evan Ingram.
Well, hillbilly hand fishing taking over the play calling duties now. Woo! I mean, hell, we could just see something completely out of the blue. They might start running the fucking oopty-oop. We don't know.
Freddie Kitchens, the only person that I know has at one time uttered the phrase, "There's more than one way to fuck that cat." I just feel very sure of that.
Wow.
He is the gift that keeps on giving.
Yep. So the offense could look a little bit different. They might try to air it out a little bit more, but I don't know why you would.
I'm still going Golladay.
Yeah.
I would prefer neither. But again, man in a ski mask with a bang bang comes in here and says you have to play one. I would say Kenny Golladay.
That's why I said, can you drop one of them and pick up somebody more relevant? I'd rather play
on that Rams-Packers game, guys. As an FYI, Stafford is beat the heck up. Soreness in his throwing arm, ankle, and chronic back pain. Everybody's favorite ailment. I think we all have chronic back pain.
I think
probably from
chronic
carrying
back
around.
pain, that's like general soreness, right?
Oh,
Yes. Yeah.
General soreness.
Listen, at least they give you, in hockey, they just say upper body or lower body. They don't tell you what it is.
Right.
They say upper body injury could be anything that's above your waist.
Well, I mean, it is getting down to the end of the season. Of course, everybody's all banged up, but Matt Stafford's a guy who I feel like he has he's always been in this position late in the season where there's something going on, but it's going to be up to his weapons to get the job done.
Anytime I see lower body, I just immediately assume CAC. Anytime I see hockey injuries in lower body, that's a CAC injury.
Could be. You know what? It could be.
He's sitting out 2 weeks for a bent wanger.
He's got a bent donger.
I like the Packers here, guys. I'm not going to lie.
I do
like
too.
The Packers here. Cold weather game.
Yep.
I mean, not as cold as it could be, but if Stafford's even a little bit banged up, they're going to be relying on that defense to do everything they have to do.
Yep.
And that's not to say that they can't do it. I mean, Aaron Donald's a grown man. He can get after people. I'm not super concerned about Von Miller, but I think that if Stafford isn't able to throw the way that he's been throwing, they cover Cooper Kupp well. There's not as much downfield action. I could be way off on this. I mean, listen, this year has been kooky dukes in terms of picking things. I'm still starting Stafford in season long or dynasty. I don't think you can get away from that, but the injury news concerns me if he's being beaten up.
Yes, I agree with everything you just said. I'm on the Green Bay Packers. It's too much of a home field advantage. And it makes too much sense for me. It's a big game. They got to have it. They want to be in. They want to keep themselves in the running for that home field advantage in the playoffs. This game means a lot, and I think Green Bay will come out as the winner. That's why I had it when it was a pick'em, and I'm definitely taking Green Bay if I'm catching points at home. Sunday Night Football this week. What? Go ahead.
Sorry, I was just going to say from a DFS perspective, Aaron Rodgers is hella cheap. I think $6,900, which is just unreasonably cheap. I don't know who he's going to throw to, but he always seems to find someone. I'm pretty sure an equipment manager will suit up if they need it.
Well, I mean, Davante Adams, he's still going to get his. He's not going to be completely shut down by Jalen Ramsey. I could see MVS having a couple of big catches in this game. To me, it's just... It's always been next man up. You never know who's the guy that's going to pop for them. It's always Davante Adams steady, and then maybe some MVS, maybe Allen Lazard hits one.
Yeah,
but I like Green Bay.
I mean, I'm taking the Rams.
Yeah.
They just need this game more. The Rams need this game, or they're going to get into that weird, hey, we're better than you, but why are you only a game behind us?
Mm-hmm. Sunday Night Football this week, got the Cleveland Browns and the Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore is a 3-point favorite at home. And I'll be honest with you, Cleveland doesn't scare me one little bit.
They shouldn't.
I think a 3-point spread is dumb at this point, but it is, Sunday night division matchup. They're always tough, always, quote unquote. I think Baltimore is just going to beat the hell out of them. I do like, somebody mentioned Nick Chubb earlier. Obviously, Nick Chubb is always a threat that you have to deal with. If you have him, you're playing him in season long. DFS, if you're playing the Captain Showdown or some shit, you have to play him, I guess.
I'm afraid Cleveland's going to get behind, and you're not going to see as much Chubb as you would like. Kareem Hunt being back, that makes me nervous.
Mm-hmm.
There's just not a lot in this game that I'm really overly excited about.
Lamar Jackson.
That's it.
Rob
Johnson, Rashad Bateman, or T. Higgins.
Ooh.
T. Higgins?
That's a good one. Yeah, I'd go T. Higgins.
I think it's T. Higgins.
Yeah, I do too.
I'm not as sold as you are on Rashad Bateman. I mean, he's a fine player. He's going to be great, but I'm still wondering where the breakout's coming.
Oh, I'm very sold on Rashad Bateman, but opportunity cost?
Mm-hmm. More room for T. Higgins to make some points against that Pittsburgh secondary.
Yeah, I just think there's more points in that game.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of changes it for me.
Justin Parton. That's got to be points. Jeremy doesn't see as much Chubb as he likes.
Hey, look at that. See what you did there.
That's another T-shirt, he says, by the way.
I see what you did there.
Let's see. Steven Tao, I guess this is this Chubb he's talking about? Didn't get a touchdown and still had 17 last week?
Yes. I mean, look.
He's always a play.
He's always a play.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not overly excited about his outlook for today.
Mm-hmm. Baltimore wins in a walk.
I agree.
In my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
Of the Baltimore receivers, though, do you want? Who are you looking at to have a game? Marquise Brown?
I'd probably want Mark Andrews above any of them. I'm not really too excited about anything for Baltimore.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of not being excited, Monday Night Football this week.
It's dog shit. And we've already pretty much talked about it.
Seattle and Washington.
I don't want anything from this game.
No.
I mean, if you've got DK and you're going to do it, you're not going to feel good about it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like Russell Wilson at this point. He looks very much like he's tapped out.
Mm-hmm.
It's a gross game.
Yeah. Taylor Heineke, yay. Terry McLaurin,
yay.
Antonio Gibson to me is the only play that I would be like, yeah, absolutely, I got to have him in my lineup.
Well, you're gonna start him. You can maybe play Heineke if you're looking for
God, you'd have to be desperate.
Two quarterback desperate league.
I guess this is the time of year in season long where you're looking at setting up your playoff matches and how you're going to get there. And if you're strategizing your victories, you're going to have to take some shots. You're going to play your studs, but you're going to have to. T. Higgins is predicted to be a 14-point scorer today. Rashad Bateman was 11, but I like Bateman a little better as a risk. If you're going to play it, you're going to risk it. You got to risk it. Look, I like. There's a couple of games here that I'm looking at, and I go, there are some opportunities on there. That Jacksonville Falcons game is Kyle Pitts going to have a breakout? Is he, is that someone that you look at? You're going to start him in your season long. Chargers Broncos, I'm avoiding, but this, if you're going to start Taylor Heineke against an awful Seahawks team, I might.
All right, All right, let's get the fire DFS lineup in there. We only got 14 minutes for everybody to set these, so
all right. I have already
fire
told you.
Away.
I have already told you. You will have Zach Wilson with Elijah Moore. My running backs are Javonte Williams, Miles Sanders, and Joe Mixon. The other receivers are Michael Pittman Jr., Deebo Samuel, and Rob Gronkowski at tight end. Defense is the Philadelphia Eagles, and this leaves you with $400 to play with, which will make your lineup slightly contrarian because very often people go right up against the number.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ever do that. And look, this is a very simple way to make yourself contrarian, but you can look at the way lineups are set. Usually between 40 and 50% of lineups are right up against 50,000.
Yeah.
So that's invariably going. There's only so many combinations that add up directly to that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to make all of those lineups over-owned. If you go above $300 left in the old hopper there, that gets you into that contrarian level.
Okay.
Usually less than 30% of lineups left more than $400 on the table.
Mm-hmm. If I have a budget, I'm going to spend it. That's how I always do it.
And that's of course you do.
Of course I do. I'm new at this thing.
But I do love Miles Sanders, Joe Mixon, Javonte Williams today. I like Zach Wilson. Debo's probably my number one receiver today. Michael Pittman's very, very high.
Okay.
That's just one of those lineups that I go, hey, my hopes are right on Zach Wilson. That doesn't kind of make me want to die at all.
Yep. Armchair, you agree? You got any DFS pops that you might want to make sure people get in their lineups?
Gronk was obviously on our hot list.
Yep.
And I'll be honest with you. I have Hunter Henry in one lineup just because he's always an end zone threat. And I don't mind Kirk Cousins at quarterback. I think that they're going to throw a ton.
Are you stacking him with Thielen or Jefferson?
Jefferson. Always Jefferson.
It's a little high for me with Jefferson. If I'm doing it with Kirk Cousins, I'm going Adam Thielen.
I'll tell you the line I have it is Kirk Cousins, Mixon, Stevenson, Ayuk, Jefferson, Pittman, Gronk, Henry, and the Dolphins on D. It is not a double up lineup. It is strictly a tournament play.
All right, I like it. Thank you for joining us once again here in the Sportsocracy Armchair. It's always fun, and we will continue to do it every Sunday you're available, sir.
Absolutely.
All right, be sure to check us out at thesportsocracy.com. And don't forget, we will be back here tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. to wrap up all of the action from Week 12 in the NFL. Best of luck. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, share, like, follow, all that good stuff. We will see you back here tomorrow morning.